Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ustad, hope you're well.
Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Jazakallah khairan. Attendees can chat with everyone. Alhamdulillah, everything's well. Hope everyone's well. Welcome back after a long break. قدر الله وما شاء فعل. Alhamdulillah, inshallah we'll continue our lesson today. It's
Akhi Ilyas, would you want to say something? I'm seeing your hands are raised.
No, I'm just raising my hand to participate.
mashallah, nice and eager. That's what we like. Get ready, we need you soon, inshallah, yes. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let me share the screen again. And then we'll get started. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man ittaba'a hudahu amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the opportunity to come together again to study the language of the Quran. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the ability to be sincere in our acts of worship, be sincere in our learning, and to give us the tawfiq and the success and the ability to be able to act upon our knowledge. So currently in Ad-Dars al-Thalith of Al-Kitab al-Thalith, Madeenah book 3, we're in lesson 3. And in lesson 3, we reached the point where the author begins to introduce the concept of two different types of verbs. One is mabniyun lil ma'lum, and one is mabniyun lil majhul. And that is mentioned over here. A lot of annotation from the previous classes already on the screen. In any case, the concept is being reinforced right now. And the difference, just to have a summary, the difference between the two verbs. One verb, mabniyun lil ma'lum, this is the verb where the fa'il, the person or the thing that did the action, is clearly mentioned. For example, you say, أكل خالد التفاحة. أكل خالد التفاحة. أكل is the فعل ماضي مبني على الفتحة. خالد is فاعل مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة. And التفاحة, this is مفعول به منصوب وعلامة نصبه الفتحة.
Ustad, you are writing it on the whiteboard, is it?
No,
That's in shade.
I wasn't writing it, but if I write it, will take longer than I wanted. I just wanted to have a quick recap.
Okay.
Is that okay? Because we have actually previously written it, but I'm just trying to get everyone. I just want to get you all mentally up to speed. And then this is mabniun lil ma'lum. Ma'lum meaning the fa'il is ma'lum. The fa'il is known. In this sentence, akala Khalidun. التفاحة. Let me ask you all a question. Who ate the apple? And the answer, if you say أكل خالد التفاحة, Khalid ate, أكل خالد التفاحة. Who ate the apple?
خالد.
Khalid ate the apple. أحسنت أخي إبراهيم. Khalid ate the apple. The fa'il is well known, is mentioned in the sentence. Okay. The focus of the sentence can be changed where we're not interested in the fa'il. We're more interested in the maf'ul. Or maybe we don't know the fa'il. We only know the maf'ul. And in English, you have the same concept. In other languages, you will definitely have the same concept. In English, you say Khalid ate the apple. And you know that it was Khalid that did the eating. And you could also say the apple was eaten. If I say to you, the apple was eaten, who ate the apple? You will not be able to say. This fa'il is majhul, is unknown. Likewise, in the Arabic language, you have a similar sentence like this, where the fi'il, akala, it changes. The first fatha becomes a dhamma. And then the second letter takes a kasra. Uki, ukila. And then the maf'ulun bihi, it sits in the position of the fa'il. And it's called like a replacement fa'il. In Arabic, na'ib fa'il. Substitute fa'il. It substitutes the actual fa'il. So it takes the dhamma. And if it is mudhakkar, then the fi'il is mudhakkar. Ukila at-ta'amu. The food was eaten. Ukila at-ta'amu. The food was eaten. If the maf'ulun bihi, which then becomes the na'ib fa'il, if it was mu'annath, then the fi'il has to change also to mu'annath. Ukilat at-tufahatu. Ukilat at-tufahatu. If I ask you if I give you the sentence, Ukilat at-tufahatu. If I ask you who ate the apple, would you be able to give me an answer? Who ate the apple? The answer would be
لا لأنه مجهول.
no, exactly. The answer is we don't know. It's unknown, it's not mentioned. If I ask you, what was eaten?
تفاحة.
At-tufahatu. Or at-tufahatu. So when you are speaking in in what is known in the English grammar as the passive voice, when you're using the mabni lil majhul or the passive voice, the maf'ulun bihi all of a sudden becomes substitute fa'il, na'ib fa'il, and it takes a dhamma. And it takes a dhamma. In the fi'l madi, the second letter takes a kasra. In the fi'l mudari', the middle letter, which is known as the ain of the kalima, it takes a fatha. And here's a couple of examples that we finished the last lesson with, which was here. Qatala al-jundiyu al-jasusa. The soldier killed the spy. Al-jundiyu takes a dhamma, al-jasusa takes a fatha. فعل قتل فاعل الجندي مفعول به الجاسوس. Okay, we don't know who killed the spy, or the focus is not on the one who did the action, but the one upon whom the action was done. So we say قتل قتل الجاسوس قتل الجاسوس. Now الجاسوس was previously مفعول به. Once the fa'il was known, now the fa'il is not known or not mentioned. The مفعول به becomes نائب فاعل, substitute fa'il, and now it takes a dhamma. قتل الجاسوس. That's in the فعل الماضي. فعل المضارع يسمع الناس الأذان بوضوح. People can clearly hear the adhan. It says يسمع الناس الأذان. الناس, this is the fa'il of the fi'l يسمع. الأذان مفعول به منصوب. بوضوح, there's extra information, tells us that they can hear it clearly. Okay. We don't want to mention الناس because it's obvious. When we say, you know, the adhan is heard or able to be heard clearly, we're talking about the people. So you can say يسمع as opposed to يسمع. The first letter becomes a dhamma. يسمع الأذان. Before, while the word adhan was مفعول به يعني فتحة, now it's نائب فاعل. Why is it نائب فاعل? Because the fi'l is fixed on a position which is hiding or not mentioning the fa'il. مبني للمجهول. يسمع الأذان بوضوح. The adhan is heard clearly. Okay. Then the teacher says, يا معاوية ابن الفعل في هذه الجملة للمجهول. ابن الفعل. What's the meaning of ابن الفعل? And why is this not ابن الفعل, like مضاف مضاف إليه? It looks like something like the son of something. What does it actually mean? He says ibni is a kasra here. Ibn al-fi'la. Go ahead, Ilyas.
فعل الأمر حذف حرف العلة بنى يبني ابني.
أحسنت بارك فيك وبارك الله فيك. نعم. بنى يبني ابني. بنى, he built. Yabni, he builds. Ibni, build. That's the literal translation. And it can also mean like to form something, to make a formation, to form. So he said, Ibn al-fi'la, form the verb. So this is fi'l amr, exactly as Ilyas said, wafaqahullah. This is fi'l amr, command, form the verb. في هذه الجملة, in this sentence, للمجهول, so that it is such that the fa'il is not mentioned. And he gives the sentence. خلق الله الإنسان من طين. There's clearly a mistake here, right? In this sentence, there is a typing error. Can someone tell me what the typing error is?
This should be a fatha instead of a dhamma.
Where?
On insan.
On insan, this has to be a fatha, not a dhamma. So that's a mistake. So, خلق الله الإنسان من طين. So, the teacher asks the student to change this sentence to majhul. So this is the exercise that you all have. You can all type it now in the text. Don't use the microphone right now. Type your answer. Change this sentence. خلق الله الإنسان من طين. What answer do you expect Muawiyah gave the teacher? Go ahead and type it. You can type it in Arabic. If you don't have an Arabic keyboard, although I don't want to encourage using English letters to form the sounds, but sadly that is what people are resorting to nowadays. And maybe you might consider it to be like an emergency to resort to that to see whether you understood the rule or not. But the best thing is to use an Arabic keyboard. Okay, so we have some correct answers. Plenty of correct answers. If you're going to type Arabic, then you have to use the diacritics, which is the vowel points, the dhamma, kasra, fatha. Just waiting for a couple more answers to come through. No, I sent them. Okay, so let's have a look at what Muawiyah said. Muawiyah said, now we'll take a reader. Whoops, don't want that to happen. So go ahead, Akhi. Yep. Who's going to read that first sentence for us? Muawiyah's answer. Go and take the mic, inshallah. Muhammad Ayman. Are you okay to do that?
خلق الإنسان من طين.
نعم أحسنت. خلق الإنسان من طين. That's the correct answer. For those of you that wrote it, keep going, please. Then Muawiyah explains and says, Muhammad.
الإنسان هنا نائب فاعل.
So this is the position of insan in Arab. In this sentence, in insan is na'ib fa'il. Okay, so are you okay to continue reading, Muhammad Ayman? Then you can read the students, and we need someone to read al-Mudarris. Abdul Kareem, are you good to read al-Mudarris?
Namus.
So Abdul Kareem read al-Mudarris, and Muhammad Ayman read the students, Idris, Ahmed, and so on and so forth. And if we get some more time, more space, we'll be able to ask the others to read, inshallah. Continue, please.
Yeah, المدرس هاتي مثالا آخر للفعل المبني للمجهول يا إدريس.
يا إدريسي.
يا إدريس. يا إدريس.
أحسنت. And over here, المبني, how will you read this word?
للفعل المبني.
أحسنت.
مبني.
المبني للمجهول. نعم أحسنت. So he wants another example. Idris says, that's Muhammad Ayman. You good to read?
نعم. إدريس قتل عمر رضي الله عنه وهو يصلي بالناس في المسجد النبوي. مسجد النبوي.
Not Umarun, but Umaru.
عمر قتل العمر رضي الله عنه.
Because this name is ممنوع من الصرف. This name is ممنوع من الصرف. Those names that have 3 letters and the middle letter is متحرك, meaning it has a fatha or dhamma or kasra on it, then that name is not going to be mamnu' min as-sarf. Is going to be mamnu' min as-sarf rather. Like Umaru. Okay. Then the teacher says,
المدرس يا محمد آتي مثالا آخر على أن يكون فعل فيه مضارعا
so what is the teacher actually asking here? What is the teacher actually asking here, guys? What's the teacher asking Ahmed? Go ahead, Elias. Go ahead, Elias.
Give another example of the فعل مبني المجهول, but this time it is in the مضارع present form.
نعم. أحسنت وبارك الله فيك. طيب, then Ahmed says,
يقتل الأصم من الناس في الحروب.
again,
في الحروب.
again please, from the beginning.
يقتل الأفن.
لا.
يقتل الآفن.
لا.
يقتل الأفن.
لا. Afwan. Let's see if anyone else can get this. This is interesting.
آلاف. يقتل الآلاف من الناس.
He didn't say يقتل الآلاف. He said يقتل آلاف. يقتل آلاف.
يقتل آلاف من الناس في الحروب.
أحسنت بارك الله فيك. يقتل آلاف من الناس في الحروب. And what does this sentence mean? Anyone? Go ahead, أخي Imran, no problem. نعم.
Understood. Before I got the answers, thousands were killed from amongst the people in the war.
Almost.
1,000 of the people were killed in the war.
1,000 is alfun.
From the first time I said thousands with an S on the end.
This is yuktalu, not qutila.
يقتل آلاف من الناس.
Ayman, if you could keep your posts, just hosts and panelists, just choose it. So when you send a message, it goes to host and panelists, not to everyone. Jazakillahu khairan. That's the policy that we've kept for the group. Now, anyone could tell me the meaning of the sentence? يُقْتَلُ آلَافٌ مِنَ النَّاسِ فِي الْحُرُوبِ. نعم. أحسنت. في الحروب. الحروب is the jam' of harb. نعم أحسنتي. The answer finally came. Thousands of people are killed in wars. Thousands of people are killed in wars. That's what it means. Barakallahu fikum. طيب. And there's no mention of the fa'il. يُقْتَلُ آلَافٌ. Alafun, this is na'ib fa'il. In the previous example, the Umar Umaru was naib fa'il. طيب. Then the mudarris says,
Ya Jabiru, hati misalan akhara ala an yakuni naibal fa'ilu fihi muwannasan.
طيب Abdul Karim, you have to read that again because some places need correcting. Go read that again, inshallah. That's fine.
Hati misalan akhara ala an yakuna
أحسنت. Not yakuni, yakuna.
yakuna al-fi'lu fihi.
No, you changed sentence. You went to the previous sentence.
Oh yeah, sorry.
على أن يكون.
Ala an yakuna naibal fa'ilu.
Hold on. نائبة, نائب, نائبي. Which one and why? Anybody?
Naibu
نائب فاعل
نائبة. Why is it نائبة, Ilyas?
مفعول به منصوب وعلامة نصبه الفتحة الظاهرة.
مفعول به منصوب. So where's the فعل?
يكون.
So كان يكون, does it has a فاعل and a مفعول? Or does it have an اسم and a خبر?
Isn't that only with ماضي like كامل جو بابدا?
لا. Also يكون.
ضمير مستتر فاعل مستتر.
لا. Just like كان has اسم كان and خبر كان, اسم كان is مرفوع and خبر كان is منصوب, then also يكون is the same. So نائب أن يكون نائب الفاعل. نائب, this is اسم كان or اسم يكون. Okay, نائب is مرفوع, اسم يكون. It's also مضاف. That's why it only has one dhamma. الفاعل is مضاف إليه, and فيه, this is حرف الجر, and this ضمير goes back to المثال الآخر. And مؤنثا, what is مؤنثا?
خبر يكون منصوب.
This is خبر, أحسنت. This is خبر of يكون and is منصوب. جيد. So he wants another example. This time the نائب فاعل should be مؤنث. Okay, can you think of an example? Can you all think of an example, please, and type it? Think of an example where the naib fa'il is mu'annath. And we'll see what answer Jabir gave. Some of you may already have seen it, and some of you may have your books open so you can't see it. You can use that to make a new example. When you send it on the group, send it to host and panelists, inshallah. Don't send it to everyone, to give others a chance to be able to see, to be able to answer. Ahsanti, that's a nice example. Any more examples coming through? No. Doesn't have to be mudari to make it easier for you. That example, the last one that you just gave, sister, in actual fact, the awraq, they are, in the language, they are doing the fi'l by themselves. So you say saqat, saqatat, saqatatil awraqu, the leaves fell. Even in English, you won't say the leaves were fallen, meaning that whoever dropped them is unknown. No. And the same for, yeah, you can say usqitatil awraq, that's different. If someone is making an effort to cause the leaves to fall, then that's different. Usqitatil awraq, that will happen. تفتح المدرسة في الصباح الباكر is what they say, Ilyas. في الصباح الباكر, or you can say في الصباح مبكرا. You say that. تفتح المدرسة, تفتح المدرسة, yes. And وضعت اللوحة على المكتب, yes. And this is a side example. تضرب بنت, تضرب بنت. Not a nice example, but yeah, linguistically it makes sense. طيب, Jabir says, let's go for it, Akhi. Who's our Jabir reader? Is it Muhammad Ayman or is it Abdul Kareem?
نعم أستاذ.
Do you read you're reading Mudaris, are you?
يا
So
مدرس.
Muhammad is reading Jabir.
جابر تقرأ سورة الفاتحة في كل ركعة.
Ahsant. So this is the example of نائب فاعل being مؤنث. أين نائب الفاعل في هذه الجملة؟ أين نائب الفاعل في هذه الجملة؟ الجواب أحسنتي. نعم. سورة this is نائب فاعل. تقرأ سورة الفاتحة. طيب, let's switch up the readers. Ilyas, you can start reading Al-Mudarris, please. And Taqib, are you okay to read the students? Is anybody else okay to read? All right, Ilyas, continue, please. You read the Mudarris. Abdul Kareem, you can continue reading the students.
أما المدرس.
Yes, please.
يا حسن أتستطيع أن تذكر آية فيها فعل مبني للمجهول؟
Now the teacher wants to know, are there any examples in the Quran of مبني للمجهول? And Hassan says,
الحسن نعم أستطيع بعون الله بعون الله. قال تعالى والذين يدعون من دون الله لا يخلقون شيئا وهم يخلقون.
Barakallahu feek. So, where's the example? أين النائب فاعل أو أين الفعل المبني لمن لم يسمى فاعله؟
يدعون and يخلقون is fail.
يدعون as a فعل, and this is clear. This is للمعلوم. الذين يدعون, the fa'il is mentioned clearly, and لا يخلقون also is referring to the same من الذين يدعون من دون الله, those people, لا يخلقون, those who are being called upon besides Allah, they do not create. They call upon them, those they call upon. والذين, I see, الذين is not the fi'l of the, is not the fa'il of يدعون. والذين يدعون, those upon whom they call. So يدعون over here, the fa'il is it the ضمير مستتر? In any case, there is one fi'il over here where the fa'il is not mentioned. And the answer came already with some in the text. The answer came, the last word, يخلقون, يخلقون. Do they call upon those besides Allah that cannot create anything, but they themselves were created? وَهُمْ يُخْلَقُونَ. Okay, there's an interesting, very important point to mention here about the rule of al-mabni lil-majhul. Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah, he says, out of good manners, we should not say about those verbs in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the fa'il, but he is not mentioned in the sentence, in the ayah. We do not say this is mabniyun lil majhul. This is mabniyun, this is formed with the unknown fa'il. We say this is formed with this is formed. This formation is where the fa'il is not mentioned. Mabniyun ala man lam yusamma fa'iluhu. Mabniyun, fixed, is the sentence which is formed where the fa'il is not mentioned. Mabniyun ala man lam yusamma fa'iluhu. Is that clear, inshallah? So the author over here, he says, Ya Hassan, أتستطيع أن تذكر آية فيها فعل مبني للمجهول? Can you imagine an example where there is in the Quranic ayah, where there is a fi'l مبني للمجهول? Because مبني للمجهول, this is the way that the rule or this fi'l is mentioned in the books of Nahu. However, Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah and other scholars, they say that this is not the way to address Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So even though the fa'il is not mentioned, we don't say majhul, unknown. It's known that this is only from only Allah who creates. So we don't say it's unknown, but we say the fa'il, the sentence where the fa'il is not mentioned. Man lam yusamma mabniyun ala man lam yusamma fa'iluhu, where the fa'il is not mentioned. طيب. And that was the example he gave. And the ayah يخلقون is mabniyun ala man lam yusamma fa'iluhu. And so many examples being mentioned over here by the participants, Jazakumullahu khairan, from the Quran. Qutila ashabul ukhdud. And فكلوا مما ذكر اسم الله عليه. ذكر اسم الله. جيد. نعم. مبني على من لم يسمى فاعله. يسمى without the alif مكسورة, just with the meme because of lam. This is مجزوم. يسمى. مجزوم بحذف حرف إذا. طيب. Al-Mudarris then says,
أحسنت يا حسن، أيمكنك أن تذكر حديثا نبويا يحوي فعلا مبنيا للمجهول يا زبير؟
أن تذكر حديثا نبويا, prophetic hadith, يحوي, means, this means hawa. Yahwi means to contain. فعلا مبنيا للمجهول يا زبير. And Zubair mentions the hadith which is in Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim.
الزبير يمكنني إن شاء الله قال صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يلدغ المؤمن من جهر واحد مرتين رواه البخاري ومسلم.
Can you explain it?
Yuldagul is to strike, to not
Yaldagu means to be stung by maybe a poisonous animal or something, by scorpion, or to be stung.
mean
Juhar,
Johar is hole.
this is the hole where the animal goes
Hole.
into, where the
Hole.
snake might make a hole into the ground and go into it.
Wahidin is one and marratain
Means twice.
twice. Okay, so
Yes. Meaning, some sisters mentioned it, a believer cannot be stung, no believer will be stung from the same hole twice. Or the believer is not stung in the same hole twice now. So making the same mistake twice, this is what is meant. This is what is meant in this hadith, that you don't make the same mistake twice. You learn your lesson from the first time. You don't go and make the same error. This is the saying of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. لا يلدغ المؤمن في جحر واحد مرتين. The believer is not stung from the same hole twice. The teacher says,
ما شاء الله.
Allahu. And then Al-Hussein said,
intaha intahal
Waqtu.
waqtu ya ustazu.
أرن الجرس.
La yusma'u sautul jarasi fi fasalna haza.
في
Fasalna.
فصلنا.
أحسنت في
فصلنا.
فصلنا.
Haza. Fi faslina haza.
Okay, so Al-Mudarris said, أرن الجرس, meaning
Did the bell ring?
did the bell ring, meaning Al-Hussein said, انتهى الوقت يا أستاذ. The time is up. Ya Ustad. And the teacher said, has the bell rung? Or did the bell ring? And Al-Hussein said, لا يسمع صوت الجرس. لا يسمع صوت الجرس في فصلنا هذا. What does that mean?
The bell is not heard in our class.
Yes, the bell is not heard in our class. The teacher says, go ahead, Akhi, Ilyas.
منذ متى?
منذ متى? And Hussein said,
منذ أسبوعين أو أكثر.
no. So what's the meaning of mundu?
Since.
Yeah, that's a good word. Since when? منذ متى? Since when? منذ أسبوعين, since 2 weeks. أو أكثر or more. Ahsanallahu ilaykum wa barakallahu feekum. So this lesson took us a few gatherings to go through it. There's a lot of benefits, a lot of linguistic benefits to take from this lesson, and the revision and the practice and the reinforcement of those points will be found in the exercises. The first one, exercise 2, he said, تأمل الأمثلة. Look at the examples, pay attention to the examples, and point out عين نائب الفاعل. Point out the naib fa'il in each of these sentences. So this is one homework that you should all do. Number 3 is just a lesson for you to read and to note. And number 4 is very important. It's asking you to change the following verbs from ma'loom to majhool. It also explains to you how to do it. Then the same thing for al-fi'l mudari'. It says, notice the change that needs to be made, and then make the changes from the ma'loom to the majhool. So everyone is expected to do these exercises, inshallah. Then it says, look at these examples. Number 6, it says, pay attention to these examples. Alif, Ba, Jim, and Dal. This section over here is Lil Ma'loom, the first side. The second side, this is Lil Majhool. Fahima became Fuhima. Fataha became Futiha. Saraka became Surikat, because the maf'ul bihi was mu'annath, and over here the maf'ul bihi now becomes na'ib fa'il. And there's a mistake over here. It seems there's like a typing error. The fatha should be on the ain and the dhamma should be on the ta marbuta. Surikat sa'atuhu. Surikat sa'atuhu. And over here, يفتح الدكاكين. And over here, تفتح الدكاكين. يفتح becomes تفتح. يفتح becomes تفتح. Okay. Then they want you to change all of these sentences to mabni lil majhul. And they made a note over here, لاحظ أن واو المثال لا تحذف في المضارع المبني للمجهول. This is important because in the fi'l where you have where the first letter is harf illa, like for example, wada'a, yada'u, wada'a, yada'u. Let's see if there's any examples over here. Wajada, yajidu, wajada, yajidu. Here's number 10. Wajada, yajidu. So in mabni al-majhul, there's no reason to remove the waw, because previously it was difficult to. So wajada yawjidu was difficult to pronounce, so it became wajada yajidu. But in the case of mabni lil majhul, it's wujida yujadu. Wujida yujadu. It's easier to say yujadu than it is to say yujadu. Yujadu. So yujadu is the correct way to say it. It said over here, in the waw of al-mithal, لا تحذف في المضارع المبني للمجهول. That's a very important point to note. طيب. And there are plenty of more exercises to get through in الدرس الثالث, and I would encourage you to go through all of them بإذن الله تعالى. And if you have any questions about that, to send them through to Markaz Athari by email. And you're welcome also to send your answers by email to Markaz Athari. And بإذن الله تعالى, we'll get some feedback to you, inshallah. And then next week, next lesson, inshallah, we'll start الدرس الرابع. وجزاكم الله خيرا وأحسن الله إليكم. وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.